Hey friends, welcome back to the craft room. It is the day for a new blockhead and I am so glad that you all are here. And if you've been following along this whole time, this is our 5th block. We're like almost halfway through. I think my goal is 12, but in case you haven't picked up yet, we're just winging this. Like so much so that I could not find a blockhead that I liked to really accentuate this blue. So I made one up. It's kind of like a little twist on a 9 patch, you know, like I'm sure you've seen something similar to it before. But if you remember last time, we had done that dark blue right here in the middle of this Bear Cubs block. And I was hoping that it would like be more prominent in the block, but it's not. So I decided this time that I was really going to gear myself towards emphasizing that dark blue. And I think we nailed it, folks. Didn't that turn out pretty cute? Not gonna lie, I flip-flopped black and brown, or the brown and background. I meant to say background and brown. That was a tongue twister for sure. And I went back and forth on it for a while. So maybe when we get that far, maybe we'll leave it the other way and then you guys can tell me what you think. Because I'm still kind of on the fence with the brown in the 9 patch. I liked how that one came out, and like I said, I think the blue is pretty prominent in there. I think the brown draws your eye to the middle, which I like, but we'll see. We'll see. First up, we are going to make some half square triangles. All of these squares are 2 7/8. Do you remember a couple videos ago when I was like, why do we do 2 7/8? Why don't we just like round up to 3? Why do we do this? Because it made that big of a difference. 3 inches squares was too big because 5 across of 3-inch squares is 15. And if we only lose 2 inches due to seam allowance, then the block would have been a 1/2 inch too big, unfinished. And I thought, I don't know if I can do that. And so we did 2 7/8. And now look. It's like perfect. So I need to watch what I say because as soon as I'm like 2 7/8, why? What's the point? I just teach myself my own lesson here, huh? 2 7/8 background. We've got 5 2 7/8 blue squares, 4 2 7/8 brown squares. How many backgrounds do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 backgrounds. And then we're doing the 8 at a time half. We're doing the 8 at a time half square triangle method. Yeesh, I am just like stuttering today. Let's draw our X here. We're getting pretty good at these 8 at a times, huh? This is a 7-inch square. So it's a big one. I take notes so that I remember what size squares make what size of half square triangles. I'm not sure if I told you that or not. And so this is a 7-inch square, which will give us technically 3-inch half square triangles. But we're so close to 3-inch, I'm not messing with the measurements. We'll just cut a little bit extra off. So right sides together of our 2 7-inch squares. We've got that X on there that I just drew. We're going to sew on both sides of that line, rotate, and then sew again on both sides of that line, and I will see you then. And there we have it. We need exactly 8 half square triangles, and this is going to be perfect for this block. Let's trim. Oh, but I need my big one. We're going to use the big blinding ruler. It's really not that blinding on your guys' end, but it's like staring right into the sun for me. Let's line up this 45-degree angle with this half of our X so that we get perfect middle and trim. Oh, I'm right on the seam of my mats. Did that cut? Let's try again. If I am right on this seam where my mats meet up, because I have a couple that are like lined up together, then it does not cut all the way through, and every time it makes me grumpy. All right, rotate to this side and we'll find perfect middle here. Oops. There we go. I think that plus is the hardest part, so I try to get that one out of the way as soon as I can. Because even if this gets all wonky now, where like they go out of place, you still have your diagonal line, you see? So I like it that way. But that's 2, 4, 6, and 8 half square triangles. I'm gonna go iron these open, and I'm gonna make sure that I put the magic spray on there so it also trims my half square triangles at the same time. I'll spray a little extra so that they're perfect. I'll see you in a sec. And it worked. The magic spray worked. But I did remind myself that we try to do at least one together so that we can just refresh on how to trim. Let's go over how to trim a half square triangle. So again, like I said, this is for a 3-inch, technically a 3-inch half square triangle, but we'll just trim a little bit smaller. So there's going to be a little bit extra waste today, but I think it is a small price for 2 7/8 perfection. We're going to line up this 45-degree angle in the ruler with the angle in our fabric. We're going to leave a little bit over to 2 7/8. And we're going to trim up the right side and then trim the top. We're going to rotate to the clean sides now, and we're going to put both of those edges right on 2 7/8. And again, we're going to trim the right side and the top. And I have noticed that my ruler has this little circle right here. I'm sure it's for like hanging or storage. But I stick my finger in it and that keeps it from sliding. So random. Maybe that's what it's actually for. I don't know. I was just quilting a lot the other day and I realized I had this funny circle. Do you see that? I had this funny circle in the tip of my finger and I thought, what the heck is that? And then I realized it's because I used the circle of my ruler to trim. So it's not some weird boil or something on my fingertip, but it sure looks like one. Okay, put those all off to the side because now it is time for a dry fit. Yes. I am going to try to have all of my fabrics going one direction. I think it's vertical. Yeah, I think it's vertical. So that may take a little bit more finagling right now. But then there is our corner unit. So it gives you kind of like that little arrow tail. So cute. I love that look. Then our browns go here. And like I said, we'll flip-flop and you guys can tell me which one you like better. Blue goes in the middle. This is the only horizontal one just for like added pizzazz. Ugh, sometimes I say weird things. Isn't it great? 5 blues. These are making me think. Yeesh. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. There we go. So they will all work out if you're deliberate about it. So all of my blue stripes are going vertically, except for in the middle where I have it going horizontally. Because why not? Fill in the rest with our white background squares. And there we have it. I don't know how I'm going to get this pattern to you. I'll probably just type it up in the description because I still cannot figure out how to get some digital item onto the website so that you can actually download it. Like it's above my pay grade and I'm not doing it anymore. So I think I'll just type this up in the description. It'll be free just like all the others, but that's the best I can offer you right now. Here is the star, the way that we have it. It's not even really a star. I don't know what you would call this. A Pokey 9 patch. I don't know what we'll call this. But I liked it also this way. What do you think of that? I think that's really cute too. My only thought was, and this is why I ended up sewing that one together with the brown in the middle for sure, is we have this pink star with like the little brown touches just like all around, and I didn't want it to look like that. So if I put the brown in the middle, then it was really its own standalone star. So although I do really like the way that this looks, I think already jumping on that bandwagon, we need it to be different. But this is definitely a block I want to make again. And so I'm actually thinking of what fabrics I will use because this is such a cute, simple block. My favorite kind. There's a lot of yellow flowers there. And there. Yeah. All right, let's put all of these pieces together and then we're going to talk a little bit about layout because I have some ideas. Ready? Here we go. Honestly, I was just telling my husband the other day that that is my favorite transition, the magic smoosh. There we have it. That turned out really cute, right? I know that you already saw it, but pretend you're like, oh, gasp, so cute. Pretend this is the first time. I really like the way that this one turned out. Like I said, I'm thinking of some other color combinations to do with it, but I would definitely flip-flop those two squares, which would be a gorgeous quilt for another day, huh? All right, here are my thoughts about this quilt top. Like I said, my goal is 12 because we've only got 12-inch blocks. So if you're doing 2 of each like I am, that's 24, and that will be a pretty large quilt. But we're gonna kind of pull from Stars for Carter Quilt. Do you remember when we did that one together? I really liked in that one how it had dividers throughout the blocks. So we had talked a little bit about sashing, and I wasn't quite sure if I would do sashing again because we're winging it. But I liked the idea. I don't have squares cut. I should have cut some squares before I talked to you about it. But putting squares as kind of little buffers in between the blocks so that it wasn't such a, I don't know what the right word is. Pink. Let me find some light blue real fast. Okay, we're gonna pretend that these are all very even squares. It would be like that. Is this ringing a bell at all to you? But instead of having all of the blocks stacked, we could have squares kind of giving us a break in between each of the rows. I mean, that's just clearly to scale. but I like that idea where we would be able to add pops of color and maybe these blocks that have a little bit more background in them, where this one kind of stands good on its own, but I think those can go together if we add those colorful breaks in between them. I'm just gonna grab it and you guys will see. Okay. So here we have a row of color, and then they've got 2 rows of color right here, which is a good break. But I think that's what we're gonna be shooting for. I'm trying to lift it high enough so you can see that other break, but my arm isn't long enough. Do you see? So it's okay that we have the same background all over, and I feel like they all still stand on their own, but these color breaks in there are just enough to draw your attention and kind of even out colors. So that's what I think we're gonna shoot for. Again, so I don't have to do sashing. So tell me your thoughts on that one. I love this quilt. I really need to get it finished. I have too many quilt tops sitting over there that I need to just get done. I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be so sweet and so colorful and so happy when it is all said and done. There is our block for the day, the honorary blockhead for the day. I don't know what we'll call it. Call it whatever you want. Tell me what you want to call it. It'll be the unknown block until you name it. We will see you next time, friends. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all of your continued support. I really appreciate you guys. You are wonderful. See ya.